Last week we mentioned 3 players and between them they got 30 points. So it's probably worth sitting up and paying attention. This is your FW Fantasy Update ahead of Game Week 13. We'll start today with a market mover, as always, and it was only ever going to be one man. Paul Pogba made a goal-scoring return from injury, and he has dominated the markets ever since.
He's been transferred in almost 300,000 times, but his price has been locked all week because of that injury. So, at 8 million, he's being seen as a bargain by managers across the markets. His ownership peaked at 36% in September before falling to just 8%, which is where he was this time last week. In the time since, that figure has risen to 15% and will only continue rising.
We've only got one must-buy this week, and his name is Andros Townsend, who has played 90 minutes in each of his last 11 games, so we think he's a fairly low-risk bet.
At 5.7, he's more than $1 million cheaper than teammate Wilfried Zaha, and they will both get plenty of minutes in Palace's generous run of fixtures. Stoke, their next opponents, have conceded 13 in their last 5 away games, while none of their subsequent 6 opponents are necessarily threatening. Couple all of this with the fact that he's owned by just 1% of managers, and Townsend could be a great option.
We'll finish with a future gem. Now, Alvaro Morata is the top scoring forward in FPL this season, and he's cheaper than each of Kane, Lukaku and Aguero, so surely he's a must-buy straight away.
Not quite. Just hold fire until after Chelsea travel to Anfield this weekend, because their fixtures from Game Week 14 to Game Week 21 are looking absolutely ideal. 5 out of those 8 games are at home, 3 of them are against newly promoted teams, and none of them are against other members of the top 6. Morata ought to score very, very well.
That's all from me for now. We'll be back next week ahead of Game Week 14, but in the meantime, you can keep up to date with all of our fantasy tips across Facebook, Twitter and footballwhispers.com. See you next week.